Okay. Good evening once again. Sorry for the little break in transmission due to connectivity challenges. And without further ado, and I not being not risking what I have so far, I wouldn't want to waste much of your time, and I want us to go straight into the reason why we are gathered here. Um, Give me a second. Okay, so good evening. My name is Jerry from Accra, Ghana. I first of all want to say thank you so much for taking our time to listen to us. Earlier on, I was telling the early attendees that this is a new project we are adding to our existing portfolios, and I did mention that so far most of our portfolios are doing very very well, but because these are long term, portfolios, some even doing 2x 3x and all that, and we're still in the process of accumulating. This project is one that we intend to approach in a manner that will at least be giving us something on the daily while we wait for the long-term projects to finally yield or build nicely up to what we expect. Then we can actually fall on that too. However, it is not a decision taken just because we want something for the daily, but because it is a new movement, right? All along, we've been talking about Web3, 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 Web3. Guess what? We are about to switch things up, to Web4. And guess what? The first ever complete full stack Web4 project has just kicked off. And thankfully, it presents a lot of opportunities that I want to present to you so you can actually go through it and then make your informed decision. I also want to state on record, I am not a financial advisor. This meeting is strictly a private team conversation, and we are looking into things as a team. I do not have what it takes to advise you on what to do with your money. In case you are watching me on YouTube or any other social media platform and you are wondering if all the things I say you should take it or not, I would like to humbly request that you do your due diligence, your own due diligence. And again, also call on all my followers and leaders to act responsibly in not just in this project, but in any other life endeavor. Do not over risk. Do not take risk you cannot afford to live without. It is a general disclaimer I normally like to give out. Now, let's go straight to business. Gmg.Ai, building the world's first ever Web4 intelligent value internet infrastructure. Let's dive right in and look at it from 5 different angles. The first thing we want to do is to look at the project overview. Now, this project is building the next gen intelligence value network, right? That integrates AI agents, smart finance, global payments, and an open ecosystem with the aim of transferring this or transitioning this internet from the information age which we are now to the age of intelligent value. Now, this project was also,
About your club.
funded with a seed capital. Okay, sorry. I think I have to come back and mute all users so we continue. Sorry for the distraction. Give me a minute. Mute all. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the little distraction. Now, this project had initial seed capital or strategic funding of $50 million, and it started about 60 days ago. And then, as we speak, liquidity pool is over $88 million. In fact, to be more accurate, liquidity pool is $93.4 million. Now, this project kickstarted with a liquidity pool of $60 million in 2 months, about 2 months ago. Fast forward to today, liquidity pool has grown to over $93.4 million. And later on in this chart, I'll take you to the chain. We look at the contents of that liquidity pool and look at security measures attached to it, right? And then this whole thing is meant to create an ecosystem that consists of AI agents, smart finance, global payment, and open ecosystem. Also, they have a strategic partnership with top firms like exchanges like OKX, BitGet Exchange, Bybit Exchange, and Visa, including ENI blockchain or the any chain. The core mission is just to empower AI to create value and then enable frictionless value circulation. I like the word circulation because, or maybe even instead of circulation, creating a frictionless value loop, something that comes, and it keeps rotating in the system, making sure that everybody benefits from it. That is the kind of thing they want to achieve here, and then also drive sustainable ecosystem growth. This is the project we're about to talk about in detail in the next phase. Now, let's look at all the core features, all the capabilities upon which this whole ecosystem was built. First of all, is this the AI powered, prediction and Oracle platform. They are building the world's first triple engine prediction system, which we call internally one core, $1, one word. The idea is to connect global intelligence and then drive value from that to the users. Secondly, we also have an AI quantitative copy trading system. Thankfully, you are not too late on this because the AI quantitative copy trading system is just about to go live this month. Of course, proud, background test and other things have suggested that this is able to use transparent on-chain transactions or trade to accumulate at least 30 to 50%, returns for people who like to actually, copy those trades, deposit their funds, copy those trades, and let the AI do the job for them. Coming live this month, later this month. Watch out for that announcement. The third thing is the sonar. You may want to experience what sonar is. This is a completely encrypted communication ecosystem, enabling you to do any other thing you do on your social media, right? An independently developed, full feature encrypted social media platform which gives you all-in-one hub for chats, groups, meetings, podcasts, social media, short drama, and decentralized wallets. Decentralized wallet. The idea is that in the near future, all these systems, of course, even our existing social media have started as a tool for just communication, but now we all know these are tools for businesses, right? It has been heavily monetized to the point that sometimes before you even launch some of those apps, you see so many ads. You open your regular social media, Facebook, you see a lot of paid ads popping up. You click on your favorite, reels and some people's posts and videos here and there. You watch half through, they pause for a minute and they show you ad. Now those activities generate revenue, but who does this revenue goes to? The owners of those platforms. So this platform they have developed, and please, I want you to pay attention to my choice of word, because I'm not saying they are going to develop. I'm saying they have developed. They have already developed the Sona. In fact, as we speak, our community, we have a group there. Maybe after this meeting, yesterday I dropped the link to download, how to download the app. Those of you who already have the Sona app, please, I'll drop my ID. You hook up with me. I will add you to our GMG family group, where all of us are there chatting, having fun, just like we normally have on other social media. Another reason why you may want to position yourself in such manner is that your favorite or the regular social media houses are becoming very aggressive and too bossy for my liking. In the past few days, most of you have seen what is happening, especially on WhatsApp. Your favorite group, you'll be there and they will tell you group banned, group suspended, and any other activity in the group comes to an end. We are becoming fed up with some of these bossy attitudes of imposing certain rules on people. And for that matter, we need another heaven, a world where you are assured of full security in terms of privacy and your personal data and all. And then the best way you can do that is to already trust something that has been built on top of blockchain. And not just only that, they have also integrated payments, decentralized payment wallet, which means that rather than just saying hi to somebody, like let's say WhatsApp, how about if you send that hi to money, right? Let's say you connect with a friend in China, for instance, and you want to purchase something, and he's like, "Are you on Sona?" Say yes. I say, "Okay, I'm on Sona. Whatever you wish to place the order for, please go ahead. Just send me some cash on Sona." You use your Sona wallet, which is your social media app for everything. You use that wallet to easily and conveniently transfer value across board worldwide, and it's another very fantastic product that is already out there and waiting for you to just download and use. Of course, aside that, you can do your regular chat, video calls, anything you do on any other chat. The other thing I should touch on is their proprietary VPN network. Of course, none of us here is new to VPN, but of course, the VPN world is also becoming more and more stiffer, imposing, restricting, and all those things. If you need a world that can crack that kind of governmental controls and all that, your safe haven should be some of these things built on top of blockchain, and GMG has actually paved way. The idea is that they want to build a system that nobody could restrict any form of movement on worldwide, so that we can be a global movement. And then, aside generating value, we also value in terms of money, we also generate other values in terms of security and protection. And of course, the GameFi on-chain gaming ecosystem, which is meant to enhance token liquidity and then increase our rate. GameFi platforms allowing people to engage on decentralized gaming system using our internal tokens and all that. And then, of course, an intelligent AI assistance metrics, where you have all these different types of AI products that you can personally assign to help you in managing your daily lifestyle. And then, of course, the global payment system, talking about the killing black cards and the Visa global payment. Remember earlier on I mentioned they have this partnership with Visa and all that. They are able to issue cards to our users to load crypto on and spend freely everywhere across the world. Those of you who are on the call with the team developers on Monday, you remember that they actually promised that in our next meeting, in our next visit to the headquarters in Hong Kong, samples of these cards will be distributed to our leaders across Africa, so we can test it, we can use it, and give feedback for product enhancement and development. Now, in all this, it also comes with very, very intelligent crypto tokenomics and mechanism. First of all, we have our internal tokens, and the total supply of this token is 1 billion. The name of the token is GMG, just like the platform suggests, and it is fixed 1 billion. Now, 60 days ago, when the platform started, it was launched at $1, right? Out of this 1 billion supply, 670 million, has been allocated to the minting pool, right? 180 million allocated to staking pool, and then 100 million for market incentives, 48 million out of that for market foundation, and then 2 million meant for private sales, which happened earlier from the beginning. And all these things are backed by 5 core core connected mechanism, and this allows it to stand as the most balanced economic model in Web3 history, ushering it into Web4, blending defensive stability with aggressive growth. And I will show you in practice how they actually intend to achieve that. Now, how does all these things translate to you? I know we are here to know where we can just put our little gig and make something out of it. Thankfully, the platform offers you dual entry modes, right? We have 2 types of business activities which we do here. The first one is called the minting, and then the second one is called staking. Unfortunately, this PDF I'm sharing doesn't seem to contain the minting, but then I'll still talk about it. Now, the minting entry mode allows you to actually stake your USDT into this platform and then receive fixed daily returns on your stake. For instance, there are 3 different um, packages. I don't want to use the word packages, but I think packages is appropriate. 3 different packages that you can actually tap into. The first one is anything between $100 to $999, gives you 1.1% daily flat, 1% daily until you achieve 200%. Let me explain. Let me use 1,000 as an example. You put in 1,000, you receive 1% daily. So in the case of 1,000, you receive 10 daily until your total earnings you've received reaches $2,000. Once that is done, your contract is over. If you want to earn more, you want to come back and stake again, principal does not return. And that is pegged from $100 to $999. Now, anything above $1,000 to $5,000 gives you the same 1% daily, but this time around it matures at 250%, unlike 200% in the earlier case. And then the last one, anything above that, above 5,000, actually gives you 1% daily until you achieve 300%. So if you put 5,000, for instance, into the minting model, what it does is that it gives you 1% daily, and at the end of the day, when you receive 15,000, your contract ends. You have to put in again to continue receiving. And what you receive here is in your same USDT. That is with a minting contract. Now, when it comes to the staking model, and before I even come to the staking model, when you deposit funds into the minting model, what happens to the funds is that 100% of these funds is used to acquire the GM token and then burn. So they use your stake to acquire the token, then they burn. Then the system revenues generated from token growth, from internally generated taxes, fees here and there, are used to reward you the 1% until you achieve your 200% or 250% or even your 300%. Right? This money doesn't go to the developers, it doesn't go to anybody's pocket, it just goes straight to the market, acquire the token and burn it. The second model is the staking model. Here, when you deposit funds into the staking model, you can choose to state how long you want these funds to be locked up in the system. For instance, you can choose the staking period of 30 days, 60 days, 180 days, and then 360 days. When you choose the 30 days model, it gives you 0.8% daily for 30 days. Then at the end of the 30 days, your principal returns to you. Same applies to all the other options, and the 360 days actually gives you 1.5%. However, here is the rule. All your daily earnings are divided into two parts. 60% is instantly made available for you to withdraw. So, and then the remaining 40% is rechanneled back to backup liquidity. Let me explain. If you put in, let's say, $1,000 into the 360 days project, that gives you 1.5% daily. That should be about $15, right? Out of these $15, 60% is made available for you to withdraw, which is $9. The remaining $6 goes back to support the liquidity pool, so that the pool can self-sustain and then can have some inflow every day, and all these activities can only suggest that this pool receiving 40% of all our stake earnings can barely run dry. Of course, we'll go into details of that. So mind you, if you take the 360 days contract, what it simply means that in effect you receive 0.9% daily. 0.9% daily. You receive 0.9% daily for 360 days. Then at the end of the day, your contract comes on the next day. Your initial capital returns to you on the next day after the 360 days. So 361 days contract. And basically, that is the business we have here. And with this, you don't need to refer anybody to earn this. This is the passive aspect of things. So if you are looking for something to just, something legit, something real, to put in something that will be yielding for you daily, that you can have access to without going through any form of drama and lockout period and all the terms we give to it, this is something you may want to consider. Now let me touch on mechanism 2. This token, as we are talking about, cannot be acquired from the market, which means that I know some of you are very smart. You know that with this amount of limited supply, with the continuous burn and then the buyback mechanism, you can instantly predict that this token would be rising up in price continuously, like on a straight line, slope. Why? I will explain to you in the next chapter. So you cannot go to the market and say, well, why do I stake then? Let me just buy and then hold. When it goes up, I make profit and then I sell. Unfortunately, you cannot do that on the open market. The only thing you can do through our system, which is through the OTC trading. OTC here simply means that over the counter trading, and this is meant for the early stage anyway. You can only trade this token within, and when trading it, you can't even buy, you can only sell. What it means is that when you receive your earnings, before you even come here, in the staking product, unlike the minting, you receive your USDT, you put in USDT, you receive USDT back. When it comes to the staking, you receive GMG instead of USDT. And of course, and again, 50% of the total funds you stake is used, to buy GMG and then bend. 50% of your stake is also used to buy this same GNG and burn. The minting protocol or the minting approach also burns the token. Then 50% of whatever we are buying here is also used to buy the token and burn. The other 50% thrown back to the liquidity pool. And at the end of the day, you receive your rewards in GMG. So how is the GMG calculated? If let's say today GMG is trading at $2, and then you put in, let's say, 1,000 requires that after the deduction you make $9. They will issue you $9 worth of the GMG. So if the existing market price of GMG is 2, what it means that they will offer you about 4.5 GMG. Then you can proceed to swap it back to USDT, and that process of swapping back to USDT is what we call trading it for USDT, but you cannot put USDT at your back end and say, I just want to acquire the token to make money. And I hope that works out nicely. So at the end of the day, nobody, these bots and businessmen who normally position themselves on new listings to take advantage of this price increment and all that, and then be dumping when price goes up, that whole thing will be taken care of, because they cannot buy to dump. The only way they can get a token is to stake it here and then receive the token as their reward, and that gives you some level of protection against market dumping. Now, there are other reward mechanisms also added to all these activities. Let's say you have come in, you've tried this system, you came to understand the infrastructure they are building, right? And then you decide to refer your friends, tell your friends about it. The system actually encourages that. Why? Because if you look at the roadmap, which I'm about to take you through, building such economy requires a lot of users, right? So those who are contributing in helping build these things are being rewarded for their contribution towards community growth, right? So we have referral reward system that grants you the permission, the chance to generate extra income aside your staking rewards, right? And this income, first of all, is in two folds. The first one is the direct or the referral rewards. This allows you to earn from your team from level 1 to level 10. Let me explain something. In case you are on this call, you don't know what level is or what generation is. It is very simple. Let's say this is me, Jerry. I chanced on this project. I tried all aspects. I checked the code. I checked the smart contract. I saw the setup, the liquidity pool, bands, and all that, and I was impressed. So I called my friend Derek, and I'm like, look, Derek, man, there's something here. Come, let's enjoy. Derek comes in, and Jerry be at the top, Derek at the second, below me. Derek is my first generation. Now, Derek also has a friend. After trying and confirming that this is working fine, he brings his friend. His friend becomes his level 1, but my level 2. Then the friend has a friend who has a friend who has a friend. Now the system is saying that Derek and all the people I personally referred are on my first generation. They are directly hooked up under me. When they do their staking or their minting and they earn their either 1% daily or their 1.5% daily, 10% of that is rewarded to you. Now, get it. It is not that they are going to take 10% of their earnings to give to Derek, but the system has been structured in such a way that there are funds set aside to take care of promotion. You saw 100 million set aside for market making and all that. You earn 10% on them. From your generation 2 to 3, that is your generation 2, Derek's friend and his friend, whatever they earn daily, you begin to earn 5% on them. But there is a caveat. The caveat is that when you sponsor one person, instantly it unlocks your level 1 and 2. When you sponsor this next active person, it unlocks your level 3 and 4. Then when you unlock, so one more brings 2 more levels until you have 5 direct active. That unlocks all your generations up to level 10. So from level 4 all the way down to level 10, which normally grows to several millions of dollars in volume, whatever they are earning daily, 2% of that comes to you as a result of you just doing one thing, referring Derek, who has a friend, whose friend has a friend, and the team begins to grow. Now, that is one side of things. Now, let's look at the second side of it, what we call the community reward or the community tier system. This system is based on ranking, starting from rank 1 or VIP 1 all the way to VIP 7. And how do you get to VIP 1? It is very simple. Let's say in the earlier example, I have Derek and then I have Augustus. Now, Derek and his team represent one leg or one team under me. Then Augustus and his friends also represent one team or other, and I can have as many as I wish, but only 5 is actually used to unlock up to my level 10, right? Now, the system is saying that, assuming, let's say, Derek and his team produce 10,000, then Augustus and his team produce about 4,000. Then there's another team producing 2,000. Now, Derek and his team obviously produce the biggest volume, so that volume is silenced. Then they will add up the other legs or the other team under you. When the volume under that accumulates to $5,000, that automatically places you on what we call VIP 1. So the volumes from your weaker grouping. And don't be swayed by the word weaker grouping, because in most cases your weaker legs carry more volume than the stronger legs. Let's say you have 3 people, one person and his team produce 10,000, one produce 6,000, one produce 5,000. What is going to happen is that the 10,000 team is triggered as your biggest leg, then the 6,000 is added to the 5,000, making 11,000. Although cumulatively it is bigger than the 10,000, the system still refers to that as your weaker leg. That is what they use to, just for ranking purposes. It is not that you are paid on only your weaker leg. Now, when you reach VIP 2, VIP 1, congratulations. Welcome to the money zone. Why? Because aside these earlier things you are earning on your team, every day your entire team's earning, you are entitled to take 10% of that. When you reach VIP 2, which requires 20,000 on your weaker leg, that gives you 20%. VIP 3 goes on and on to VIP 7 when you earn up to 50%. However, there is a caveat as well. This VIP, this volume is on differential bonuses, which means that if you are on VIP 1 and those people under you are not on VIP 1, then you are entitled to take that bonus. However, let's say in the earlier example, Derek also moves to VIP 1. The system is not going to pay me 10% and pay Derek to 10%. Such things cannot happen, because then it is not sustainable. It will crash the system. So what happens is that once Derek moves in my team to become the VIP 1, he takes over the 10%. But guess what? I'm supposed to go home with 0%, but the system says, okay, don't worry. On Derek's personal earning from his team, we're still going to reward you 10% of Derek's earnings, not on his team. Please, let me explain this part so you get it right, because that is where I get most questions from. Let's say before Derek comes to VIP 1, his team produces our daily earnings of about 10,000. Then this 10,000, I make 10% of it daily. So like $1,000 comes to me as a result of that. Nobody from his team is yet there. Then now Derek comes to occupy that position by the virtue of the fact that he has met me on VIP 1. So now Derek takes that $1,000 daily. However, me being his sponsor, I'm giving 10% of his 1,000, which is $100, and not 1,000 to Derek or 1,000 to me. I hope that difference, that explanation makes the difference. Now, when I move on to VIP 2, instead of making 20%, right? This 20%, Derek is already taking 10% from it. So the differences between mine and that of Derek, which is 10%, I will earn 10% on his team all over again. So that is how it is done on differential bonus basis, all the way till you get to VIP 7, which requires only $20 million to trigger that. And trust me, the way we do things in our team, that shouldn't be hard for most of my leaders here. Now, there is another reward mechanism, which is what we call the transaction tax dividend. Every withdrawal you make from the system, there is 3% withdrawal fees charged on it. Now, this 3%, is 5% of that is thrown into all these pools. There are pools set aside to receive those fees, right? Those fees actually don't go to the developers, it goes to a pool. This pool is set aside to reward the VIP ranks. So we have the VIP 5 node, we have VIP 6 node and VIP 7 node. 30% of the fee deducted or collected in this platform is set aside and distributed to all VIP 5 node, VIP 5 leaders. Then 30% again of that is also set aside to reward the VIPCs, and then 40% set aside to reward all the VIP 7s in the community. And trust me, it is distributed daily, but that can come in handy. It runs into several thousands in a day. In fact, I saw somebody's account from Asia, and I was really impressed. I just told myself I can't really wait to get to VIP 5 and above to start enjoying that. The next reward mechanism is what we call the performance profit pool. Now, the GMG token is not stable in price. In fact, if I open the chart, you realize that the token is forever on the rise. It was listed at $1. Sorry, it was listed at $1 60 days ago. Today, as we speak, the token is trading around $2.41. So now, if you earn the token, the rate at which, if you earn your rewards or your daily staking rewards, the rate at which the tokens were given to you, the system takes record of it, right? Let's say you receive 2 tokens today, and as of today, the token is trading at $1. And so that 2 represented $2. Then you waited for the token to rise in value and to maybe $2, and you decided to sell at $4. Now, per the system calculation, your actual earnings was $2, but you've made profit just by the virtue of holding the token. So that the extra profits, 100% profit you made, 20% of that is deducted when you are swapping. 20% of that is charged, and then it is distributed into what we call the horse racing pool. And then every month, the highest rank performances in our ecosystem based on volume they produce, the system automatically ranks them. The first rank takes 30% of all the profit and the performance profit, and then the second to third, they take 30%, and then fourth to 10th, they take 40% of that. All these things are meant to encourage users to go all out there and build a business on something that is meant to position or built to run for long without any form of interference. We'll go there. Now, 7 core advantage is the fact that, one, this is a pioneer of Web 4, right? Like I mentioned earlier, this is the world's first full stack AI aggregation platform in Web 4, defining the industry standard with 0 direct competitors. And I say 0 direct competitors because this is the first and the only Web 4 project we are talking about here. Now, all the AI agent algorithms and all the systems put up in this ecosystem are built in-house without any third-party involvement. What it means is that all their AI agents, algorithms, quantitative engines are developed in-house, and they have that proprietary right over it. And then there is a strategic Binance alignment that in the future is expected to roll out, streamlining listing support and then gaining immediate exposure to Binance global pool of over 100 million users. And then, of course, it is a closed loop ecosystem. In fact, that was the actual word I used when I was talking about something flowing in the community, we all contributing to revenue generation, and at the end of the day, it bounces back to us as reward, and it keeps going. And of course, it is built, the entire platform, the faces behind it are not ashamed of what they have put together, and they are all over the places, securing licenses here and there. And these are experienced Wall Street veterans, talking about setting X Binance executives, and some on-chain risk management experts, backed by 9 top-tier crypto VCs. So trust me, the brains behind it, of course, they are all over the place. They are not hiding, they are not hired, they are all there supporting the ecosystem growth with their knowledge and experience. And of course, this platform is compliant, registered. We have registered offices or entities in Dubai, Hong Kong, and then in the United States of America with MBS and MAS licenses. And they actually imply institutional grade risk control. And then the last one is that they have global operational footprint, and the idea is to operate around across the Asia Pacific and the Europe, America, Middle East, Africa, and Latin America, with $60 million liquidity pool that started. Now that pool has grown to $93.4 million in 2 months, and that pool is locked forever, which I will prove to you in the next phase. Now let's look at the economic highlight. Skyline Trading System, AI agents that do the auto trading for you, generating daily returns of about 0.5 to 3% when the copy trading system comes live. We have AI prediction market, which gives you deep market analysis, and then event forecasting. And then we have the growth incentives, multi-tier referral and reward programs that I just explained to maximize, viral network effect. So why are they giving all these, all these bonuses and incentives to team builders or community builders? It is because they want this thing to go viral so we can hit our user target and then expose this product to a lot of people as intended. And then of course the tokenomics, I just talked to you about it, only 1 billion in supply, launched at $1, driven by deflationary burning and community dividend pools, which we just talked about as well. You also have the staking terms from 30 to 360 days locking period that yields 0.8 to 1.5% daily, 60% liquid available for you to withdraw, 40% repooled for long-term sustainability, AI financial products, a lot of flexible products at your back end when you subscribe to the AI product. And then at the end of the day, they are allowed to do, a dedicated trading to ensure that at the end of the day, the certain percentages are yield to your saving product. And then of course, specialized dividend pools that are all set to ensure that we are properly taken care of. Now let's look at the strategic roadmap. The first year, which is this year, thankfully we are just some few days into this thing. Mostly what happens is that this kind of projects do happen. They will start off way in Asia. They will run it for many months, even if not year, before it start crippling into our side of the world. Thankfully, due to network connectivity, interconnect networking, we are able to now get these things right from source just when they launch. So year one, the idea is to make sure the product is launched and then the ecosystem validation takes place, and it involves a complete full stack technical development, and then the launch of the AI quantitative trading engine and market prediction algorithms, and then streamline the full path to Binance listing, establish global communities, and localized marketing infrastructure. So my leaders that I spoke to earlier before this call, remember I told you to take active position. We happen to be the first and the only team from Africa and the English-speaking countries on these projects. Those of you who were on the call with the team last Monday, you heard the lead developer, who we call the CEO, Mr. Lucas, actually mentioned that he also outlined several plans to ensure that these products are brought to the doorstep of the many blockchain enthusiasts. And then the target for this is to ensure that in the first 1 year of operation, we are able to hit about 1 million global users, to validate the business. That is this year. We are just 2 months into it, and we are not going anywhere. You are still right in early. Then in 2 years, we are talking about ecosystem scaling and then global expansion, where we are beginning to look about fully deploying the planned ecosystem and scale up users from 1 million to 10 million, launch ecosystem projects in Binance, futures, and others, and then fully operationalize regional hubs across the Asia Pacific, the Europe, the Europe, Middle East, um, Africa, and then Latin America, and then also open system APIs and white label enterprise solution to drive corporate cash flow. And that will be in the second year. Then in the third year, we zoom to assure that leadership role, industry leadership and Web4 dominance. The idea is that when other projects start coming to the Web4 arena, there should be a dominant force, a voice, a figure that they can look up to and say that, look, these guys actually paved the way and we are here to compete with them, just like it happens in crypto. The target is to surpass over 50 million users globally and then drive the ecosystems, aggregate market cap up to over 10 billion milestone, establishing GMG as a definitive market, a definitive global AI Web4 infrastructure, and then initiate global venture investment, mergers, and acquisitions to build a comprehensive A4 conglomerate. Now, let's look at the target audience, which people this infrastructure seems to target: the retail users, right? Retail users, investors, wealth management enthusiasts, AI prediction market users. These guys represent, 100 millions globally, and their core need is automated quantitative returns with accurate market insights, and then low barrier computing rewards to secure Web4 or a secure Web4 app. And then they are also targeting institutions and project teams, looking forward to venture funds, Web4 projects, fintechs. You heard a CEO saying other institutions are already approaching them for certain infrastructure which they are wishing to take advantage of. Ecosystem partners, of course, key opinion leaders, and then key opinion consumers like you and I are all welcome to partner this team in building the world's first ever Web4 project full of AI, finance, and global ecosystem. Join us today. Let's partner and co-create the Web4 intelligent value internet and share in the multi-trillion dollar industry dividends. So this is Gmg.Ai. This is what we invited you to be part of. On this note, I would like to come back to my screens and then pick few questions if there are any. And I hope that by doing this, I've been able to help you understand what Gmg.Ai is all about, and you can make an informed decision about what we have here. Let me also say that earlier on, I couldn't acknowledge the presence of my leaders. Bongi, Leader Bongi, good evening to you. Leader Yvonne, thank you so much for coming. Leader Augustus, Dr. Consti, oh my goodness, it's a full house. Lady Chini, oh my babe. Good to have you in the house, madam. And all the leaders, man, thank you so much for being here. Now, I would like to take few questions and then take you to blockchain side of things, show you how the liquidity pool looks like, how the token growth has been over the period, and why you should position yourself early. So please, if you have any question, just raise your hand quickly and I will attend to you in real time. On that note, with your permission, I would also like to pause or stop the recording so that we can make it shorter for easier presentation. Thank you so much for your time.